What's going on, guys? Meteorologist Jonathan Kegges back with you on a Thursday evening. Hope everybody is doing well tonight. It is a mild night, and for some, it is already a very, very foggy night tonight. I want to show you what's going on with the board here. I need to change my source real quick, but this is the deal that is going on outside right now. This is Marineland. We have the fog coming in pretty thick this evening, and that is something that's going to start along the coast and then gradually push its way inland, probably up to the I-4 corridor, and then we will watch it probably stop there. This is what we call sea fog, and we're going to break all of that down, what that actually is, through the course of this show. But we're taking a live look tonight above my head in Marineland, and then also Jacksonville Beach, where we have some of the fog rolling into. It's pretty much from about Cape Canaveral back up to the southeast Georgia coastline, where we have that really thick sea fog sliding on through. We're also taking that larger live look in Marineland, courtesy of our friends at WeatherStem, obviously in the big box right there. In Marineland, it is 64 degrees, and you see the moon covered in fog there on the icon. That is our fog icon. Again, we have a calm breeze every now and then. It's out of the east. It's pushing that layer of fog further inland. But again, with that calm wind, that is helping to keep the fog in play. So again, thick fog tonight. We're already seeing it, and it's going to expand a little bit as we go through the overnight hours. And then once we get rid of that fog, and in some places it is going to linger, again, closer to the coast tomorrow, it's likely going to linger through your early afternoon, and then warmth is going to take over, potentially near record warmth over the next couple of days. So tomorrow and Saturday, before we change things up, we have a nice big cold front coming through, and that is going to continue to bring the cooler air back down into Central Florida over the next by the end of your weekend, and then really through most of next week. So here's the deal. Dense fog advisory is already in effect. It's when we see these sea fog episodes again roll in from the Atlantic Ocean, the fog develops earlier into the evening. Typically, when we're looking at fog, it's something called radiation fog, where we watch clear skies, calm winds, the temperature falls down to the dew point, it reaches saturation, and we get that fog to just hang out there. This, we have a warmer air mass. I'll explain all that in a second, graphically, coming in, and it's being pushed through. So it's crazy to see a dense fog advisory that took effect 6 o'clock this evening, and it stays in effect for Flagler County, St. Johns County, up into Duval County, and then interior inland Florida until 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And again, the dense fog advisory is for visibility less than a quarter of a mile, in some cases 0, where we have already seen that today, or already seen that tonight with this latest round of the fog coming back in. So we're not picking up a ton of yellow here, but right along the coast, again, from really Palm Coast, Beverly Beach, maybe as far south to Daytona, really closer to Ormond by the Sea, Wilbur by the Sea. That's where we have the thickest fog just kind of chilling right now. And you can kind of see that a little bit better when we show this map. 10 miles is your perfect visibility. So that's kind of like the measuring stick here. When you see it obviously go down, that means it's getting worse. And even though it's 9 miles in Daytona Beach, if you look closely, you see that kind of little gray footprint and then turn white. So the right along the coast, from really just on the north side of Daytona Beach, through Beverly Beach, Bethune Beach, and then back to Marineland, where we just took the live look, that's where we have the fog kind of hanging out. I don't have the numbers here, but that is where the fog is really thick, again, sliding down the Georgia coastline. That's all going to work its way back into interior Central Florida, again, overnight tonight. So what we're dealing with right now is something called sea fog, because it is coming in off the sea. And a couple of things that we need to do to get this is to have the wind on shore and the water be on the cooler side. Hence why we get it this time of the year versus in the summer, because you need the water to be on the cooler side, of course. As long as it's cooler than the air, it helps to generate that. But nonetheless, it's much more common in the cooler season, of course. What happens is we get that breeze out of the east off of the water, and it brings in more moisture over the water right near the shore. So you see that a warmer, moist air mass, and nobody hates that word, moves over the water, and that is going to eventually cool that air mass as well. So what was a warm air mass gets cooled by the, relatively speaking, cooler water beneath it. As the air cools, it becomes a little more saturated with moisture. And that's how we start to get that fog to develop right along the shoreline. And then it's going to move with the breeze. And in this case, again, the breeze is out of the east, off of the Atlantic. That's how we do that. And that's generated by that chunk of high pressure that you see there off the coast of New Jersey. It's helping our breeze, albeit very, very light, out of the east to kind of get that cloud deck rolling and then to push it back through. So you'll kind of see the progression here again with that easterly wind going forward tonight. You see there's midnight, the visibility is dropping, especially along the coast, and then it tries to go inland a little bit. So um where you see the visibilities on the lowest are going to be right along the coast. And then right along the I-4 corridor, we get some. So I think the westernmost extent of this is going to be likely the I-4 corridor. It's warm out there. That's helping to fuel this for sure. I mean, it's near 70 in Orlando. It's in the low 70s in Tampa and Fort Myers. It is super warm out there. Tomorrow morning, it's going to start very warm. Most of us in the 60s and 70s, maybe a few slipping into the upper 50s. But no matter what, it is going to be pretty warm, and that's going to lead to this, the potential for some records to at least be in record territory. I don't know if anybody breaks it. We don't have any red squares on the map, but I can tell you we are 1 degree away from Orlando's record, and we're just in the same ballpark. I mean, most of us would, if we don't tie or break a record tomorrow, are going to be within like 1 to 3 degrees across most of the state when we're talking about breaking records. So again, this is for tomorrow, January 9th. You see the high temperatures back in the low 80s in Tampa and Orlando, right around 80 in Vero Beach. Same in Miami. Tallahassee, we're back to the upper 70s as well. And we keep that warmth building as we get into Saturday. Here are the records for Friday, tomorrow. And again, you see we're very, very close. 83 is the high temperature forecast in Orlando. If we overachieve by a degree, we tie the record. If we overachieve by 2 degrees with respect to our forecast, then we're talking about a new record set. Same deal in Sanford, also in Leesburg. I think Daytona Beach, we stay away from the record, but it is still going to be very, very warm. The warmth continues for one more day into Saturday, and then we change things up a little bit. And we're going to get into that part of the forecast on the other side of this break. There's a decently long-lived cold snap coming. Now, this is kind of a twofold thing. I don't think it's as intense as what we had, just about 10 days ago? But I think it lasts longer than the last one did. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about in 3 minutes, and then also look at the latest drought monitor. I don't think you need me to tell you that it got a little bit worse again. So we're going to break that part of your forecast down coming up in about 3 minutes. It says I'm there. Let me see. Let me check. Let me I don't see it. Now I do. I do see it now. Yeah, it might have been. Sometimes I didn't catch it over there. Sometimes you have to like do it. Yeah, let me know if it comes up again. I'm seeing it in the window now. Okay. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegges back with you. News 6 Weather live at 9:30. We're here with you every Monday through Friday at 9:30. We have some colder air coming back. First, we got to get through the near-record warmth that's coming on the pipeline tomorrow and Saturday. But you see the divide right now. Look at St. Louis in the mid-60s. Omaha is in the mid-30s, where the yellows turn to that blue color, that kind of dark blue line that's running kind of right from the nose of Iowa there, southern Wisconsin, down through the eastern side of Oklahoma, just to the northwest of Dallas, southeast of El Paso. That is our cold front. That arrives on Sunday to bring us some unseasonably cold air again as we get into the first really Sunday, and then it settles in kind of Monday and beyond. I want to show you the temperature anomaly chart again, and just to show you the divide here. This is going to be Saturday. Notice all the red from Mobile to Atlanta to Virginia Beach, really all up and down the eastern third of the country, and then watch it turn blue a little bit. That's going to be Tuesday, January 13th. We have some of that blue settling in, nothing too crazy. It's still on the bluer side. And then it looks like we're going to get another shot there. As we get towards the third week of January, you see some purples pop up, indicating the colder anomalies again. And you see that's 15 degrees colder than normal. So as we get into the third week of July, my goodness, let's not go to July just yet. As we get into the third week of January, we might have some extra cold coming through. And that's something that we're going to talk about obviously later. And it looks like it may be relentless. Look at that. So the tables might be turned and we might end up having like a cooler back half of January. So yeah, keep the firewood coming. We might be able to actually utilize it for a while. Okay, so question from Kevin. He says, will it rain while it is cold? I think so. Next week with that second push of colder air. We're going to get into that in just 1 second. So here is the latest drought monitor for Central Florida, and that orange color has expanded again. That severe droughts. That's what we don't like. We don't like to see that going further to the east. That means it is expanding. Most are abnormally dry, that yellow color, and then that kind of tan color from Marineland into Palm Coast. Ormond Beach, and then Melbourne, Mico, Yeehaw Junction, Kenansville, we are in a moderate drought. So again, things continue to expand from a Florida perspective. When you're talking about the drought, the entire state has some color to it. The worst of the drought being still closer to Tallahassee, with now the moderate drought all the way down into South Florida. I do think we're going to have the opportunity for some rain. Now, I have this going out through Monday. With the first cold front, there may be a few showers with it. Okay, so there may be a few showers with this first front that's coming through. It's not going to amount to much across the Florida Peninsula. I'm talking a few hundredths of an inch. Okay, I don't think it's anything too crazy, and that's if anything. So it's nothing significant. Might have to do a little bit of dodging, but it's nothing too crazy. There is another front though, and this one is the bigger one. I have to change my data point back because it updated to the afternoon run, and the afternoon run doesn't go out as far. If you follow the models, what we call the 18Z or the 1 o'clock in the afternoon run only goes out about half the time. So there it is now. Okay, maybe my data just isn't working. Give me 1 second. It looks like the second one is going to push through a little bit more. Oh, yeah, because I put it to last night's. That's my bad. So that's why there's no data there, because it's been old and we're at last night's point tonight. So yeah, so there's not a ton of rain. That's through Monday morning, okay? And then here comes the second front. This one does have a little bit more push to it, a little bit more moisture, and you do see that we could pick up a little bit of rain. Certainly we'll take that. Anywhere maybe from 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch, maybe even more than that. We'll have to see what the front looks like. That's a little far out. We're talking a week from tomorrow. But that's our next system that's going to increase rain chances just a little bit. Coming back up in a few minutes, I'm going to go comb the questions. I have to get my second break in. Post in the comments if you have any questions, and we'll get to that in just about 3 minutes. Okay.
So that was a totally different issue.
Welcome back. It is a Thursday night. We have almost made it to the weekend. I'm meteorologist Jonathan Kegges. If you're just joining, we've been talking about the near record warmth coming to Florida tomorrow, the fog that is developing as we speak across some of the peninsula, especially northeast Florida and southeast Georgia, and then the expanding drought into Florida. A couple of questions that have come up are okay, just lost my train of thought. Oh, Jody asked, what is the bottom box showing? That is Jacksonville Beach, and it is looking at the pier. You can kind of see some of the sea foam from the ocean on the right-hand side. So that's looking at the Atlantic Ocean in Jacksonville Beach, and where you see the lights there, that is the pier going out into the ocean. So that is Jacksonville Beach. Melissa, we are not in a drought yet in New Smyrna Beach. We are considered abnormally dry. But we are not technically in the drought. That yellow color means abnormally dry. So it is on the drier side, but not technically in a drought yet. So any kind of rain would help delay that process. But unfortunately, it does look like we're heading in that direction for everybody to be in a drought. But we'll take what we can get. Again, that rain coming in does look decent. So we'll take it. We certainly again this time of the year. So again, we look to the opportunity to be on the cooler side through the middle of January, and then once we get into next week. But I mean, tomorrow we're talking about again near record warmth. None of these boxes are red because we're not forecasting a record explicitly, but we're really, really close. Again, air temperatures tomorrow in the low 80s, likely a degree or two away from records. Let's check in on the visibility. So notice if you were with us at the top of the show, like this footprint of fog is rolling down the coast right now. Let me see. I don't know if I have another camera in between. Let me see. So on the bottom now, that's St. Augustine. There's a little bit of fog back there. It's not crazy. But that middle one there is, or the bottom one now is St. Augustine, Florida. They still have some of their lights up. If anybody's ever been up there, I heard it's crazy. Orlando will likely have some fog tomorrow morning. Not right now, but there will be some fog. There should be some fog coming in tomorrow morning. But we don't have anything out there right now. Best chance of rain next week looks like it's going to be in that Wednesday through Friday time frame. Starting up north in Florida Wednesday, and then gradually coming on the Florida Peninsula into Thursday, and then exiting South Florida into Friday. So we're working to nail down the timing of that front. But it's going to be sometime mid to late next week. It does not appear. There's a few blotches toward Fort Myers. I don't have the auto populated cities coming up, but there's a few gray blotches on there. Nope, no fog in New Smyrna Beach yet. Your visibility is still looking pretty good. The fog is to your north. So not seeing any of the real thick stuff. Tomorrow afternoon. Alrighty, guys, that about does it for the show. I have to go get ready for News 6 at 10. If you are watching on News 6 Plus, you know what that means. Keep it parked right there. We're going to be talking about more on the fog that is settling in. We'll have the latest update in terms of the visibility forecast, and then we're going to talk about the chill after the record warmth. There is so much to break down over the next 7 to 10 days. We have you covered. Coming up on News 6 at 10 on News 6 Plus, and then right on the traditional cable side of things on News 6 at 11. I'll see you guys then. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Really appreciate your time, and keep me company tonight and every night, Monday through Friday, 9:30. Catch you soon.